Hey students, hey bacha log, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing absolutely fine and see, your Anubha Ma'am is back with one more amazing session in front of you, that is Metals and Non-Metals Part 2. What does that mean? Part 1 is already done. I hope all of you have seen that. Why this chapter in 2 parts? Because this is a very much important chapter for boards. So I thought 2 sessions would be sufficient to revise all the topics. So stay till the end to do all the important questions and revise the chapter thoroughly. Okay? And I hope you know the schedule very well. आज क्या है, किस दिन मिल रहे हैं हम? I guess this 10th Feb, Metals and Non-Metals Part 2. Keep following the whole schedule. 12, 14 and 16. Also there are 3 more lectures of carbon and its compound, another very important chapter, as well as periodic classifications, the chapter in which I'm getting so many queries. Okay, so stay with Anubha Ma'am and clear all your doubts. Right, bacha log, on this note, let's start our session. But one more information, that Sprintex test series is already going on. Participate in that series so that you can enhance your growth and you can see where you are and you know how to attempt paper so that boards will be super easy and you can score wonders. Right? I have full faith that you can do very nice. So क्या करना है उसके लिए, you know what is the key? This time the best work you all can do is to revise all the topics with a strategy, with some smartness, plan your schedule properly. There are so many teachers who are, you know, giving information about you for the same, that how to plan accordingly, manage accordingly. वहाँ जाके एग्जाम में ऐसा ना हो मैम टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं हुआ. Don't be panicked, you can do everything. Stay focused and let's start the session with very high josh. Right? Metals and non-metals part 2. First question on our screen. We'll do some basic questions, 3-4 questions. Then we'll move to 3 markers or 5 markers questions. Fine? तो मेरे साथ आंसर देते जाना है. I know it's premiered, but ma'am will see each and every part. Okay? Ma'am देखती है after the session. So do reply to me in the chat box as well as comment box. First question on the screen right now. The question is give reason of the following. School bells are made up of metals. है ना, बहुत खुशी होती है जब लास्ट वाली जो वो बेल बजती है, टन 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 छुट्टी, है ना. तो वो बेल जो होती है वो किसकी बनी होती है? डेफिनेटली दैट इज मेटल. बट व्हाई वी मेड दैट बेल ऑफ मेटल और मिक्सचर ऑफ मेटल? बिकॉज मेटल हैज अ प्रॉपर्टी, दैट मेटल इज sonorous in nature. Sonorous means that has a property that whenever it strikes with a ringing object, whenever it strikes with an object, it produces a ringing sound. Fine? So sonorous की वजह से, इस property की वजह से, sonority की वजह से, whenever that is to be struck by any object, it will produce a very ringing sound, will reach to you and you will be super happy with the last bell. I know, not the first bell. है ना? So this is the property. Second question, electric wires are made up of copper. What exactly is the reason? We all are very well aware of the same, right? The reason behind this is copper is a good conductor of electricity. So wire में हम use करते हैं so that electricity can be conducted through it and we can run all our electrical appliances for the same. है ना? So this is the reason कॉपर को हम यूज करते हैं टू मेक इलेक्ट्रिक वायर्स. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. सो 1 मार्क्स की क्वेश्चन यू कैन इजीली डू इट इफ यू नो वेरी बेसिक प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मेटल्स और नॉन मेटल्स. सेशन डाउनलोड कर लेना इफ यू नो ईच एंड एवरी डिटेल विद ऑल ऑफ यू, so that in your free time, rather than you know spending so much time, you can just go through the question and their answers as well, how to attempt it. Next question. Mention the name of the metal for the following 2 metals which are alloyed with iron to make stainless steel. So as the name is giving you answer, alloy क्या होता है? Alloy is basically a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous means same composition throughout, means they are mixed in such a well manner I'm not even able to figure out there are 2 or more than 2 things. ठीक है, uniform composition throughout, and this is a mixture of a metal with maybe other metals or some non-metal to get the mixture to enhance certain properties into it. So stainless steel is a kind of alloy of iron which does not get rusted. तो iron के साथ हम mix करते हैं chromium plus nickel. Okay, so these are the two metals which is going to be added with iron to enhance some of its properties so that it won't get rusted, plus it will be hard enough also. ठीक है? Next, two metals which are used to make jewelry. So I hope all the girls, maybe you all like jewelry. No? Then maybe you will like jewelry. And boys, what about you? Tell me. तो jewelry की बात करें हम तो बताओ ज़रा. ये तो सबको पता है नहीं? That ma'am, if the people are rich enough, they can use platinum also, rose gold, मतलब gold का category, and नहीं तो silver भी है ना? So basically you can talk about here platinum, gold and silver in the last. Fine? Okay, chalo on this note, let's move ahead with some more questions. One more question. तो ये half mark के questions होते हैं, तो they can come up with a pair so that 1 marker question you can easily attempt, because सबसे ज़्यादा गलती होने के chances जो होते हैं वो 1 marker question में होते हैं, because 3 markers 5 markers are more of theory based but 1 marks are just one line and conceptual based. तो वो सबसे ज़्यादा strong करना है, that 20 marks should not be cut from your exams. Okay, तो pay attention on those 20 marks in science. Fine? केमिस्ट्री का आई कैन इंश्योर दो, बाकी टीचर तो है ही, है ना? सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, नेम द फॉलोइंग. A metal which is preserved in kerosene, we all know that. What is that metal that is preserved in kerosene? You can talk about potassium as well as sodium. What could be the reason? If you have seen, you know the reason. Potassium and sodium are two very much reactive metals. So whenever they come in contact with water or air, air has oxygen and oxygen में moisture भी है, or even if you put it into water, they are very much, you know, reactive towards these things and show very rigorous reaction, and so much amount of heat is released, and that can catch us fire because of the same. So we won't put it into that. So we will definitely try to put it into kerosene. Now there are certain students who asked me a doubt I have seen in the comment box sometime, that ma'am, why kerosene oil? Is there any other way also to do the same? So bacha, there are certain reasons ma'am is telling you right now. One thing, kerosene oil is cheaper, right? Second thing, kerosene oil is not that much greasy. तो अगर आप metal को डालते हो, main reason why you put an oil, because so that your metal will be properly dipped and not in contact with air and water, so that it will be prevented from the outer atmosphere. ठीक है, तो एक protective layer का काम कर रहा है. You can use other oil also just like petrol, but उसके केस में क्या है, petrol, diesel are more of vaporizable. They are itself going to, you know, environment. Kerosene उतना ज़्यादा vaporizable नहीं होता, इतना क्या होता नहीं है, बहुत कम होता है. Plus density comparatively ज़्यादा है, but greasy भी नहीं है, तो ऐसा नहीं है that is going to stick with your metal and interfere with it. So kerosene is a good, you know, solvent to use it, but ज़रूरी नहीं है. Some other countries can use other kind of solvent also. Fine, other kind of liquid also to preserve it, to save it. Fine, now you got the clarity. I hope it helps. I hope it is going to, you know, make a better clarity in your mind, and I hope you will support ma'am and you will support 910 channel just by hitting it maximum like as possible and share it with your friends also, right? क्योंकि ये sprint time है. Fine. A lustrous colored non-metal, you all know the answer. Lustrous shiny, which is not at all a property of non-metal, but there are certain exceptions, just like iodine. Okay, even graphite, form of carbon, is also lustrous in nature. But अगर एक पूछे best, so that is this iodine. Fine. Next question, a metal which can melt while kept on palm. Again, metal has this property that they have very high melting and boiling point. But if I talk about certain exception, just like gallium and cesium, they have very low melting point. But cesium को palm पे रखने की गलती बिल्कुल नहीं करनी है. What exactly is the reason? Cesium is very much reactive metal. ठीक है? So gallium could be one of the best answer. You need to write the best answer as possible. ठीक है? तो gallium is that metal. ठीक है, let's move to next question. Just bear, थोड़ा गला खराब है, but still I'm there for all of you. Next question, a metal which is a poor conductor of heat. We all know it. क्या है नाम? जल्दी से बताओ in the chat box. Yes, I get so many answers from you and you all are absolutely correct. Answer है lead. Sorry, PB. PD क्या होता है वैसे? Tell me. PB is plumbum, lead, and PD is palladium. Palladium नहीं आएगा, lead आएगा, plumbum आएगा. ठीक है? Correct. Let's move with one more question now. Okay. Now we'll attempt some 3 markers questions also. Question का hint I have already given you. चलो एक बार दोबारा से revise करते हैं. Alloy क्या है? If I talk about an alloy, you know it from 8th class also. That alloy is something which, as I told you, is a homogeneous mixture. Right? Homogeneous mixture. This term you have heard in 8th and 9th also. Alloy and this homogeneous mixture. Homo means same, genus means phase, mixture means when things are added randomly, not in a proper fixed proportion by mass. ठीक है? तो a kind of a mixture of metal with other metals or non-metals to get a uniform composition throughout. That is a homogeneous mixture. Now the second question is why we make alloy of metals? Just to enhance, just to change certain characteristics of metals. If I talk about iron only, you know that iron is a very soft metal. Okay, soft metal का कुछ भी बनाओगे तो not going to exist for a longer time, है ना? Properly उसके अलावा pure iron, you know, very much towards this condition rusting. So कैसे बचाएं? Alloy बना दो. Alloy का मतलब क्या है? Just mix certain metals or non-metals into it that can enhance or change certain properties, just like giving it hardness, lowering its melting point, not making it conductor of electricity, prevent it from corrosion and all. ठीक है? So if I mix chromium and nickel, as I told you, we will get stainless steel. So उसकी वजह से your iron now became hard as well as rustless. इसीलिए we use iron utensil in our, that stainless utensil in our home also, है ना? देखे होगे बहुत time तक भी they'll remain safe and as such, right? हाँ. In older time, my mama used to tell me, in their time, whenever a person got married, when they are gifted with, you know, those utensils, that is a matter of pride that you're getting this, because they'll remain same throughout the time. Okay, तो सोचो इसका value. And if I talk about here a particular example that tell me the constituent of solder, apart from that, why it is suitable for electrical wires, soldering of electrical wires. So क्या reason है? Waiting for your response. Tell me. Because solder is an alloy of, tell. Solder is an alloy of lead and tin. Okay, 50-50%. थोड़ा सा change हो सकता है, no worries. I'll take 50% amount of lead and 50% amount of, again PD लिख दिया, sorry, PB. तो ठीक है, बड़े बड़े क्लासेस में छोटी छोटी मिस्टेक्स हो जाती है ना? PB lead 50% and 50% in, actually students को मैं lead पढ़ा रही थी hydrogenation में. That hydrogen you can put into nickel, platinum and palladium also. So that thing is running in my mind. Okay, 50-50% mixture. The main reason to use this is what? That individually lead and tin has a very high melting point, but when I mix them, their constituent mixture, their resultant mixture has comparatively lower melting point, and you can use it while soldering two wires, welding two wires. बहुत जल्दी से पिघल जाएगा and can help to, you know, solder two wires, weld two wires. ठीक है? So this is the reason behind it. Yes, बच्चा लोग, funda is clear and I hope Josh is also high. Yes, very nice. Keep this throughout the class and let's move to next question now. Again, वही जो हम पढ़ रहे थे, alloy, why we make, one of the reason is to prevent it from corrosion. Let's understand this, what exactly is corrosion. And you know, even if you get your pure metal from the ore, sometime इतनी मेहनत की and then बेचारा फिर से it is getting some harmful process. Though corrosion is not harmful always, okay? So it is a question for all of you. Just tell me in the chat box, I'll wait for your response. Any two metals, for them corrosion is good and beneficial for them. Okay, I'll wait for your response. Now the question is, there is a metal X acquires a green color coating on its surface when exposed to air. that substance, if I talk about that having a green color layer, develop a green color layer, उसका नाम बताना है and the process responsible. So if I talk about that, a substance getting green color layer, copper. Okay, copper, with time you might have seen in your home that whenever you do puja, all of those things, we use utensils of copper, है ना, कलश बोलते हैं, and after certain uses उसके अंदर there's a greenish layer start depositing. What exactly is this? Copper का बना होता है, and that green layer which is going to deposit because of air is what? Air has moisture, that is water and oxygen का mixture. This is moisture, right? Apart from that, CO2 gas. So your copper reacts with these gases from the atmosphere and make a basic copper carbonate. ठीक है? Copper carbonate, which is basic in nature. Basic क्यों? Because it has hydroxide ion also, and together there is a mixture which is known as basic copper carbonate. Basic copper carbonate. This layer is of what color? Green color. That greenish color that is appeared on your reddish brown copper metal. Now, what is the name of this process? Simply this is known as corrosion of copper. You can also call it tarnishing of copper, because least reactive metals whenever became dull or develop a layer, we also call it tarnishing. Okay, so you can use both the term, that is corrosion of copper as well as tarnishing of copper. You can make certain short notes also with me. Okay, next, name and write chemical formula of the green coating, which is done. List 2 important methods to prevent the process. Quickly tell me 2 important process to prevent it. पहली बात तो even if that is form, how you are going to prepare, I mean prevent it. घर में देखा होगा parents क्या करते हैं, they take a lemon and start rubbing on that utensils. How? Lemon is something acidic in nature, weak acid. This is basic. Neutralization will occur and that layer is going to be removed in the form of salt. अभी तो बोल रहे prevent ही करना है कि वो layer आए ही ना. How we are going to prevent it? ऑलमोस्ट सेम कि कोई ऐसे इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग कर दो, कोई ऐसे मेटल की लेयर चढ़ा दो दैट इज नॉट लेटिंग योर कॉपर टू बी corroded. सो यू कैन से क्रोम प्लेटिंग, टिन प्लेटिंग यू कैन डू, राइट? क्रोम प्लेटिंग, टिन प्लेटिंग यू कैन डू. उसके अलावा क्या कर सकते हो? क्रोम प्लेटिंग, टिन प्लेटिंग, एंड यू कैन मेक सर्टेन अलॉय ऑल्सो to prevent it from corrosion. इसका ब्रोंज वाला अलॉय बना दो so it can prevent it from corrosion, है ना? ब्रोंज के मेडल मिलते थे. Why medal? Because that is also corrosionless. ठीक है? तो making an alloy bronze can also be possible, right? So this is the answer. You can write, understand what they are asking, prevention and how you can remove the layer. So difference समझ आना चाहिए. It should be all in your mind. Yeah, so on this note, let's move ahead with one more question. Write balanced chemical equation for these reaction. चलो try करते हैं one by one. मुझे पता है सबको आता है ना? So it's like a practice, it's like a revision. Do it with ma'am right now. Dilute sulfuric acid with aluminium powder. You have aluminium powder, you put it into sulfuric acid. समझ के जवाब देना, क्योंकि समझ आएगा तभी नंबर आएगा, ठीक है, एग्जाम में. सो व्हाट कुड बी द आंसर? टेल मी. पहली बात, डाइल्यूट सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड एंड कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बोथ विल गिव डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट. ध्यान देना, ओके. और इसका भी आंसर बताने मुझे. इफ आई टेक कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड देन व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन द रिएक्शन? Aluminium being more reactive than your hydrogen, it's more of displacement reaction. Metal with acid will give you metal salt and hydrogen gas. So you will get aluminium sulfate and hydrogen gas. Balance करो इसको. 2 aluminium, hydrogen and then 3 sulfate. If I put 3 sulfate, okay, then 3 sulfate, ठीक है, 2 aluminium, hydrogen would be 3, right? And reaction is balanced now, right? Reaction is balanced now. So let's move to next reaction. I hope this is understandable. Hydrogen gas is going to be released. Now next is dilute HCl with sodium carbonate. If I talk about sodium carbonate, सोडियम दिख नहीं रहा, अभी दिख रहा होगा, राइट? सोडियम कार्बोनेट, I told whenever metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate react with acid, what is going to form? This I've told you so many times. Metal carbonate, bicarbonate, whenever react with acid is going to make, it's a kind of neutralization reaction only. Salt and water with CO2 gas, क्योंकि ये हमेशा one of the product is definitely you're going to get a CO2. So Na with the Cl, 2 NaCl as salt plus 2H, 1 oxygen, H2O plus CO2 gas. CO2 gas has a property that can turn your lime water milky because of formation of calcium carbonate, which they are asking into next question, that the gas which is going to release is what? You know it, that is your CO2 gas whenever react with lime water, which is your calcium hydroxide. तो जैसे ही ये calcium hydroxide के साथ react करेगा, क्या बनेगा? They'll mix to give a white precipitate which is responsible for milky appearance, that is calcium carbonate in water. ठीक है? So this is not soluble into water. Calcium carbonate is not soluble in water. That's why that milky appearance settle down after some time. Those white precipitates settle down after some time. It's kind of a chalk in water wala solution, which is also known as suspension. Please make it clear. And when excess of CO2 pass through this mixture, is same mixture में से if you pass excess of CO2, it will react to give calcium bicarbonate, CaHCO3 twice. Calcium bicarbonate, which is something which is dissolved in water, and the turbidity, that white appearance is going to be disappeared क्योंकि वो water में पूरी तरीके से soluble होता है. ठीक है? That calcium bicarbonate. This question can also come into exam. I hope this is clear now in all your mind. Fine? On this note, let's start a new question. Let's read it out. Very much important question for board. इसको बिल्कुल नहीं छोड़ना है. ठीक है? This question is super important. What exactly is the question? Roasting and calcination, you need to define that, and with the help of all the chemical equations, and how zinc is extracted from ore. So let's take zinc as the example and do understand all of this process. So if I talk about zinc ore, zinc is a moderate reactive metal which exists into two forms generally, that is sulfide and carbonate form. Okay? Sulfide and carbonate form. मैम को बहुत ध्यान से सुनना है. मैम is telling all the important information, not for question but to make your concept clear also. ठीक है? Sulfide and carbonate ore. How is zinc extracted? We are going to study by these two process only. तो होता क्या है? Sulfide, that is zinc sulfide. Carbonate, that is zinc carbonate. This ore has a name known as zinc blende. Zinc blende. And this ore is known as calamine ore. हाँ बच्चा, same calamine which is there in lactocalamine. Okay? तो वो वही होता है. जिंक कार्बोनेट बेसिक सोल्यूशन उसमें होता है. ठीक है? सो दैट इज कैलामाइन और दैट इज जिंक ब्लेंड. सो द प्रोसेस यूज फॉर द सेम इज व्हाट? देखो हमारा काम क्या है? वी नीड टू कन्वर्ट इनटू बेटर फॉर्म. अब मैं इसे सीधा जिंक मेटल नहीं ला सकती. टू गेट प्योर जिंक मेटल फ्रॉम दीज काइंड ऑफ ओर्स इज नॉट एट ऑल इजी बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर plus a very strong reducing agent. Can we have a better method? Yes. First convert into oxide. So पहला method क्या है? दोनों के लिए we need to convert them into oxide because from zinc oxide you can easily free your zinc metal. ठीक है? बहुत कम एनर्जी चाहिएगी plus a weak reducing agent, बहुत cheap और economical reducing agent can do that work. ठीक है? तो इसको क्या किया मैंने? इसको हटाना है सल्फर को और ऑक्सीजन लाना है. सल्फर को इन फॉर्म ऑफ गैस यू कैन रिमूव, राइट? सो SO2 बना दो. मीन्स दिस रिएक्शन यू आर गोइंग टू डू heat it in presence of air. ठीक है? Now you know the reason why we put oxygen. So this is roasting. Heating of your sulfide ore in presence of oxygen so that you will get your zinc oxide and your sulfur in the form of gas SO2 will be free. Fine. In case of this, I already told you so many times, whenever you see carbonate and whenever you heat it, one of the product is definitely CO2 और एक ऑक्सीजन बच जाएगा. सो यू डू नॉट नीड टू प्रोवाइड ऑक्सीजन हियर. मतलब जस्ट हीट कर दो. तो बच्चों के दिमाग में क्वेश्चन रहता है, मैम व्हाई इन द एब्सेंस ऑफ हीट, आई मीन एब्सेंस ऑफ एयर, दैट्स नॉट नेसेसरी. जस्ट हीट इट इन अ क्लोज चैम्बर, दैट्स इट. इतना ही करना है, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं सोचना. सो दिस इज नोन एज कैल्सिनेशन. Calcination is what? कैसे? CaCa. याद रखना, I have seen so many students getting confused. Ca carbonate or Ca calcination. Just heating it in the you can say not so sufficient supply of air, absence of air. कैसे भी लिख सकते हो? So you will get here your zinc oxide. Now the purpose is done of roasting and calcination. Now the next thing which they are asking is how zinc is extracted from its ore. This is the first step in both of the reaction to get zinc oxide, because यहाँ से metal लाना बहुत easy है. कैसे? इस ore में you just put carbon in the form of coke as the reducing agent. Put carbon in the form of coke as the reducing agent. उससे क्या होगा? Carbon being more reactive than your zinc, carbon being more reactive than your zinc in the reactivity series can displace and take its position and can be free in the form of CO2. CO, excess of oxygen pass करोगे बाद में CO2. Why not CO? Because CO is a harmful gas, है ना? Zinc plus CO. Now we don't want CO, तो हम excess of oxygen pass करा के we can remove it out in form of CO2 gas also, है ना? ये ज़्यादा harmful है. Now this is also clear. Second step होगा putting carbon in the form of coke as a cheap source which is available as a reducing agent. Why reducing? It is taking oxygen away from your zinc oxide, है ना? Reducing agent is something which does reduction. Loss of oxygen is a reduction, we know that, right? So this is clear. Two metals that can be used to reduce metal oxide to metal. One I have already given you, carbon in the form of coke. Then you can use, you know, any metal which would be reactive than the metal given. Any metal or any element that is reactive than the given metal. So you can use aluminium powder, calcium powder also apart from your carbon. But वो थोड़े से expensive है, that's why we don't use it here, right? But though we can use. ठीक है? Understood? I hope समझ आया? Yes. So one more question, very good question and important for boards, important for exam point of view. E is an element among copper, zinc, aluminium and iron. ठीक है? तो E find out करना है, that could be copper, zinc, aluminium and iron. All the informations are given. Let's see what is the best suitable element for all the parts. One of its ore is rich in E2O3. ठीक है? पहले बात तो कॉपर Cu2O3 बनाता नहीं है, जिंक भी Cu2O3 बनाता नहीं है, बिकॉज हियर इट इज शोइंग दैट E का वैलेंसी होगा 3. ये कैसे आता है? क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करके, राइट? EO3 2. Then only you got this formula. मतलब E का valency 3 and among these now we have two options. This can show 3 valency, this can show 3 valency. They can't show 3 valency. Now we have two options, right? तो हम क्या करेंगे? Elimination method choose करेंगे. Fine? Yes. E2O3 is not attacked by water. यहीं से clear हो गया. You know that aluminium is reactive metal and can be attacked by water. But iron is something which is less reactive metal. अगर उसको water से react करना, you need to take water in the form of steam and you need to make your iron also red hot. Right? याद करो. And I told also in the previous session, very much important reaction. Gas की form में, steam की form में. And then this should be red hot. Then only you will get your product, that is Fe3O4. 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 Very much important. Now it forms 2 chloride. यहाँ से एक idea मिल गया what it could be. पर proof कर लेते हैं next वाले part से कि सही है या नहीं. 2 chloride ECl2 and ECl3 name the element. Now you know that aluminium can't form aluminium Cl2, AlCl2, because aluminium का valency is 3, can't be 2. So that is definitely iron, because iron can exist in these two forms, FeCl2 and FeCl3. ठीक है? Because of its variable valency, +2 valency as well as +3 valency. I hope funda is clear. I hope you are able to understand. This type of a question are also important for exam point of view. So just see it properly and prepare properly. Okay? One more question, then we will move ahead. Question is, a copper plate was dipped in silver nitrate. Copper plate is dipped into a solution of silver nitrate. Aqueous solution है, ठीक है? After certain time, what will we see? Silver from the solution was deposited on the copper plate. State the reason why it has happened and give the chemical equation of the reason involved. So we know that this is totally dependent upon our SD type of a reaction, that is single displacement reaction. और कैसे होगा ये single displacement? Copper, you know, that is reactive than silver, right? No worries and no doubt in that. Copper being more reactive can displace to make a copper nitrate solution and silver will be free. तो क्या होगा? Solution का color colorless से change हो रहा है towards blue color. ठीक है? Colorless solution blue होता जा रहा है. And now you have taken a copper का strip into silver nitrate. Solution का color is changing, but silver which is becoming free क्या करेगा बेचारा? उस स्ट्रिप के ऊपर जाना शुरू हो गया और डिपॉजिट कर गया. सो सिल्वर स्टार्ट्स डिपॉजिटिंग ऑन योर कॉपर स्ट्रिप. The reaction is totally single displacement reaction, and now we know the reaction. You can balance the same. That's it, right? Balance also, yes, very easy reaction. This displacement reaction is also equally important for boards exam. I have seen so many previous papers, so this should be already, you know, settled in your mind. As I told you, strategy बहुत important है कि कौन कौन से important topics है एक chapter के. ठीक है? So one more very much important thing right now in front of you. Why we take impure copper as anode during refining of copper? As we know that copper, even after purification method, we don't get it into pure form. मतलब there could be impurities of higher and lower reactive metals, and उसके लिए हम क्या लेते हैं? Electrolysis करते हैं. We take impure copper as anode and a very thin strip of copper as cathode, and we'll take copper का ही electrolyte to perform this, है ना? So tell me why on anode side only we take our impure copper. I have already taken all of that chapter. If you still have any issue, go and watch all the Umang series ka video, because all the topics I have taken with all the information given, and it is definitely going to help you. That is ma'am's promise. Okay, so keep following because बहुत कम time बचा है, and I have full faith in all of you that all of you can do it. तो मैम वेट करेगी आप सबके रिस्पॉन्स का. I hope you all will give it, and I hope you all will follow it. Just an information that bacha, now you have this opportunity that you can buy 2 micro courses at just 11 rupees, which is, you know, that 11 rupees तो कैंटीन से एक कप या क्या बोले एक समोसा खाने में चले जाते हैं, right? So apply this code FLAT11. Whatever the chapter you want to study, and you know it is hard for you, you can clear all your doubts with all the master teachers of Vedantu. They are good enough, you already know it. So choose now and do it. Okay, you will be getting the link in the description box. Now you know the coupon also, that is FLAT11. Fine, FLAT11. Thank you for making Vedantu such hit that it got Users Choice App Award. This is already and only because of all of you. So ma'am का big thank you to all of you. Vedantu का ये है Instagram, Telegram का link. तो ये Telegram के link के through you can join it, so that you'll get all the schedules, as well as you can post your doubts also over there, right? So this is the session you are seeing right now. Next session 12th Feb, day after tomorrow. Carbon, super important chapter. Please be there. Stay tuned. Put a reminder, 8 o'clock ma'am will be back on 12th Feb, and please do watch the previous video if anyone haven't watched it. Okay? क्योंकि वो भी important है for complete revision of the chapter. ठीक है? तो समझ आया, मजा आया और फंडा भी clear हुआ, right? So very well done. I hope it is super clear now. I have made my efforts, so now it's your time to appreciate and make it a big hit, so that it can reach to each and every students in India in whatever way possible, है ना? So just do it. Share your love by just hitting the like button, and you know, सबसे ज़्यादा इसी पे आना चाहिए. Let's see if we can do it, and then share it with your friends and subscribe. All the newcomers, please do it. I'll wait for your response. You can reach out to me. This is my ID, anubha.gaur@vedantu.com. On this high Josh, we are going to, you know, meet very soon. Till that, keep revising all the topics and stay tuned with Vedantu. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Stay happy and stay healthy also. Okay? Bye-bye.